Convos from the couch today with Dr. P. And you see, I'm wearing my Therapy is Dope shirt that I got from Legacy Speaks. Dope sis, dope therapist. Definitely go ahead, check her out. Legacy Speaks. But today I wanted to do my Convos from the couch on a topic that is extremely important and personal to me. It is around women's equality. So we have Women's Equality Pay Day coming up relatively soon. I believe it's sometime here in August. And it's a day where we are focusing on and paying attention to women, making sure that we get the same amount of pay than our male counterparts. Of course, we know that race also has a significant impact on our pay schedules. Sadly, Black women are at the lowest of the totem pole when it comes to pay. And we're talking about on the dollar. So if a white man makes $1, how much does a Black man make for the same job? Or Asian man, a Latino man, a white woman, an Asian woman, a Latina, as well as, of course, a Black woman. So what's interesting is that this is an important conversation to me because I'm clearly a Black woman and I work at an institution, a university, where I have had to advocate for my pay to just make sure that it's equal. But more importantly, I own a company, of course you all know, Onyx Therapy Group, of which we are constantly thinking about pay and equity and making sure that we are competitively priced when it comes to making sure that our counselors and trainers, who are predominantly Black women, are getting paid their true worth. The interesting thing about pay is that it's not just about money, right? Pay is often a way that we value and equate our worth, right? In some communities, it's a matter of, well, if I make this amount of money, then it means that I'm this person, and I could do these things, and I could have these experiences, and I could have this life of luxury or whatnot. And in other communities, it's just a matter of economics, right? Just making sure that I have enough to be able to eat, to be able to survive, to be able to have clothes for my children, or, be able to give back money to my parents, or even send that money back home to whatever countries that I originated from, or that my family originated from before coming to the US. So I really want to talk about women's equality in pay as it pertains to worth, primarily because we do spend a lot of time thinking about our worth, and that's one of the quantifiable measurements to determine what our worth is. We know we stand around and we talk about, well, I'm worthy of this and I'm worthy of that, and I deserve this and I deserve that, and all of those things are true. Money, equality in pay is actually a ranking, so we can see how people value us, how they see us as worthy based off of this pay. So here I'm going to talk about a couple tips that I've used along the way to increase my pay in different organizations that I worked in prior to setting up Onyx, as well as I even teach my counselors and trainers how to advocate for more pay when it comes to Onyx. I know, super crazy and controversial. All of my CEOs are like, what? You're teaching your employees how to ask for more? But ultimately, yes, because I want them to have the skills that's necessary and needed. Ideally, they would stay with Onyx forever, but if they don't, they still need the skills to be able to advocate for worth and value in other careers, specifically related to money. So here we go, right? Because you've probably been listening for like 4 minutes and you're like, get to the point, Dr. P. This is Convos from the couch. Get to the point. Well, one of the first things that you want to do when you advocate for more money is that you want to be able to track why you deserve that more money. And it could be as simple as, this is a comparison across the country. It could be as simple as, I know that such and such has made this amount of money and I deserve to make the same amount. I hesitate on that one a little bit because you don't want to get into the habit of comparing yourself to other people, but you can compare yourself to national statistics. You can also compare yourself based off of your education, your years of experience. You can compare yourself based off of the difficulty of projects that you've taken on at your job and been able to accomplish and achieve. You can also think about it in terms of how much money you brought into the company. That means that you're tracking how much money you've been able to bring in, whether it's through sales or through products, whether it's through services. And then being able to advocate for more money on that way. So being able to compare to other statistics, being able to say, this is why. Another main thing that you want to do is talk about how whenever there's a wonderful book called 48 Laws of Power, and whenever you go to somebody who has more power and authority over you or your circumstance, and you're asking or requesting for something, you want to make it clear on how they benefit from that. So with your employer giving you a greater pay raise, how does the employer benefit from that? Does that mean that you're able to, that because you have more money, you're less stressed, and so you're able to focus more on your projects? Does it mean that you have more money and so you can quit your part-time job, which allows you to have the mental capacity to do more in this particular job? Does it mean that you get paid more money and it increases your morale at work and your commitment and involvement to the company? Does this more money mean that you're able to do whatever and it benefits the company? One of the main things you want to talk about is how does this pay increase benefit the company, not just benefit you. And that's a general rule of thumb. Like whenever we request something, we want to be able to talk about how it benefits somebody else, because people are generally, it's sad, but people are generally more willing to give if they know that they get a benefit from it too. So first, showing them how it benefits the company. Second, doing your national comparison so you know what that true worth really is. And then you want to be able to use some strong organization and communication skills when you're asking for that money. I would even print out national statistics. I would have a folder. I would have a presentation that's ready. I would talk about all the benefits that are there. I would talk about even some of the negative things that they may see. They may say, well, if we pay you a higher increase, then it means that the company is going to get taxed more. And for every problem that I could foresee, I would come up with solutions as well. And generally, I've always gotten my pay increases, right? And so, but that's because there's a system that's in place. The last thing is I come in with a lot of confidence. I am confident. I believe in ask and you shall receive. The worst that somebody can tell you is no. And in terms of employment and pay, it doesn't mean that you're going to get fired. It means that you're going to stay at the same salary or the same wages that you're currently at. So go in there knowing that you're capable of and that you're confident of what you're about to say, that you've done your research, that you truly do believe that you are worthy of this pay increase. So again, as a recap, first tip is to be able to have an idea of how you're going to present the information in terms of how the company benefits by giving you a pay increase, right? They are maybe, like I talked about before, you are more invested and that gives them more better products. But it may also be in that they are now on national level, right? And that's a benefit for them, and they could talk about that when they go out and look for more business development, or that they are above national level and that makes them look more marketable. So one, how does your pay increase benefit them? Two, what are your national and local comparisons? So bringing some actual quantifiable numbers so that you can see what you should be making based off of your education, your years of experience, your worth, etc. Three, making sure that you're clear and confident about what you're saying. And then four, how you have it organized and presented so that, again, it's clear, it's concise, but it shows that you've put in a lot of thought. You want to remove some of the emotions from it, even though worth has a lot to do with our emotions and our values. You want to try to remove some of the emotions and really make it a logical conversation, right? Numbers, money, value, etc., as opposed to this is how I feel and things like that, because that's not necessarily going to shift the number conversation very much. So I hope these tips have been extremely helpful for you as you think about women's equality in pay, and especially for us that are minority women, knowing that we tend to make significantly less than, say, a white male doing the same job as us. We need to really be organized and strategic and planned in how we make sure that we move that marker higher and higher. And of course, at some point, we wouldn't want to have to continue to do this. At some point, we want organizations and companies and the government to pick up on the differences on their own. But in the meantime, there are some very individual and micro things that you can do to make sure that you get your equality in pay. All right. So I hope this has been really helpful for you guys. I hope you guys continue to watch our other Convos from the Couch, and you pick up our newsletter, have it emailed out to you. We've been doing some wonderful things in Onyx. Recently, we were in the Washingtonian and in Forbes talking about returning to work and why some people don't want to. So make sure you check out our articles and check us out in our media, because some of those things may be helpful for you in your life as well. So that's it for me. Until next month, until September, which is my birthday month. Super excited about my upcoming birthday. Until then, I hope you are well and you take care of yourself as well. All right, see you later.